Welcome back to Surviving and Thriving, where we share with you the things that we have learned as we have transitioned our family from struggling to survive sickness, disease, illness to thriving right in the midst of it, in the hopes that it may help you as you transition your family from struggling to survive disease to thriving right in the midst of it. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit more about the decisions and the choices we make. Every decision, every choice we make every single day will either reap us good on the back end or bad on the back end. And I would like to encourage you to make good decisions, good choices. Now, sometimes, there are some things that seem like it don't really matter if, what decision you make, what is it going to cost you? But it is going to cost you one way or the other. Sometimes the cost could be great and sometimes the cost could be minimal. But when you're walking through and overcoming and conquering sickness and disease, it is important to look at every single decision because it can cost you in ways that you would not expect later on. So let's break some of that down a little bit. Let's talk about eating. It is important to make good eating choices. Now, some diseases out there, some things that you may be facing, there may be things you cannot eat. There may be things that you must eat. You have to know what your body is going through and what's best for you. But if there is something that you are not supposed to eat, say for a diabetic, they are not supposed to have sugar. If a person who is fighting diabetes is eating bread and they choose that they don't want to give up bread because they love bread and bread is part of their culture and they've been raised on bread, so they're not going to give up bread. You know what that means? That when they eat bread, they're going to have a great taste in their mouth. They're going to have a great eating experience, but they're going to pay a bad price on the back end because that bread turns into sugar in their body and they're going to be dealing with some insulin issues. Now, was it worth what they may go through on the other end? A diabetic coma or anything that they could go through? No, that piece of bread was not worth it. I would say give up the bread. So when you're looking at your life and what it is that you need to eat, if there's something that you should not be eating, every time you get a desire to eat it, think about what it's going to cost you on the back end, and are you willing to endure it? If you're not supposed to have salt and you eat that salt and your blood pressure goes sky high and you got 200 and something over 100 and something, are you willing to go through that? If you're not supposed to eat salt because it's going to put fluid on your body, if you eat that piece of chicken from Popeyes, are you willing to endure what you might have to go through to get that fluid off your body? Every decision that you make, you need to stop and look at it and see, are you willing to pay the price for it? Now, no one else can tell you if you're willing to pay the price for it. And it's not just in eating. Also, if you're a person who's going through and you have to make a decision sometimes I had to make a decisions to get up, to move, to go to church with my family, go on, to go and go to the park with my family, or to just ride in the car with my family. And that may not seem like it's a big decision. It may not seem like it's hard. But those were things that were very hard for me. Those were things that I should not have been able to do because I was completely bedridden and it was going to cost me. It was going to cost me greatly to endure, sitting through a service or through a movie. It cost me to get up and get dressed to go through to there and then to have to sit down and try to endure it. And then on top of that, when I got home, it was going to cost me greatly for weeks sometimes, and it was going to cost my family because they were going to have to take care of me. However, I knew that I needed to keep moving. I knew that if I stayed in that bed and didn't move, I was going to die. And it was later confirmed by medical doctors that couldn't understand how I was still alive, and they said that there was no way I should have been able to do the things that I did, but because I did those things, that may very well have been what helped keep me alive, although I know it was Jesus, but moving helped keep me alive. So I knew it was a cost that I had to pay. Now, my family would beg me, please don't do this, please lay still, please do this, because they didn't want to see me suffer. But I understood what I needed to do to keep me alive. Sometimes you know what you need to do, and people who love you and who are walking through this walk with you may not want to see you go through the things that you have to go through. But if you know that you need to keep your mind active, keep your mind active. If you know that you have to keep your body active, keep your body active. You know the fight that you have to put up to fight against that which is fighting against you so that you can stay here. And sometimes those who love you most, they just don't want to see you go through. But you may have to pay the cost to do what you have to do to keep you here. Be for certain that it's going to be worth it on the long run. Now, did I suffer when I would get up and go with my family? I suffered greatly. But as you can see, I'm still alive. As the doctors have said, what seemed impossible, I did. But because I did it, I am still here. So I would encourage you to look at every single little decision you make. Look at the decisions you make with your money. Look at the decisions you make with your time. Look at the decisions you make with your health. Look at the decisions you make with your food. Look at every single decision. Look at the decisions you make in your marriage and with your children, because those decisions will cost you. Every decision you make in your marriage will determine if your marriage will last. Will it be a good marriage? Will it be a loving marriage? Or will it end in divorce? Will you stay together and just be unhappy? Look at those decisions. How are you talking to the people around you? How are you talking to yourself? Those things matter. So I appreciate the fact that you tuned in today. I hope this was helpful to you. As always, please like us down below. Click that little thumbs up sign that says like, and subscribe so that you can get the videos as they come out every week. Thank you for watching Surviving and Thriving. Until next time, bye.